G'day everyone, it's Justin and
Matt.
two dads again from BRRRRRM Australia, and we're coming to you today from a 2019 Toyota 86 GTS. Now mate, I thought we'd have a look at the 86 GTS today because, I mean, the whole idea of us doing this channel for everybody was fun and family-friendly cars, right? So if you had a fun car when you were younger, had the family, had to give it up, thinking now you want to get back into something fun again, but it has to be family-friendly as well, or partly family-friendly, I suppose.
Yeah.
Thought we'd have a look at this. I know we've driven the Subaru cousin of the car, I think last year or whatever it was, the BRRRRM.
Yeah.
But the 86 has probably, I mean, this is an 86 GTS with what they call the dynamic performance package. Cool looking car. It's called Apollo Blue. It stands out. Now the dynamic performance package in the 86 comes with some good mechanical bits. You get Brembo brakes, Sachs dampers as well on it. You also get some black 10-spoke 17-inch alloys. I think it's got Michelin Primacy HP tyres on it as well.
Yeah.
Now I think this dynamic performance pack on the Apollo Blue car also comes with the interior upgrade, which has the leather and Alcantara sports seats on it, black interior trim, black mirrors, black rear spoiler. Now, pricing wise, look, the standard 86 GTS is about $36,640 list price. You can get just the, I think the mechanical bits on it for an extra $2,200 on the GTS. There's like a lower spec version of the 86 called the GT, and the package on that one is about $2,900. But the car we're in today, I know it's a little bit confusing, is the Apollo Blue dynamic performance package. For $2,950, you're going to get all the mechanicals and all the paint and the interior as well. And I reckon for $2,950, that's not a bad amount of money to pay for something like this, is it?
I would definitely be ticking that box.
I mean, it puts the price up to $39,590 list price, so around the 40k mark.
Yeah.
And 40k for a performance car, there's a lot of hatchbacks out there that you could have a look at as well. But the one thing about the 86, I guess, is that it's the purity, isn't it? The purity of driving. It's front engine, rear wheel drive.
Yeah.
It is definitely fun to drive. Mechanically, I think, it's got the 2-litre Boxer 4-cylinder engine, 152 kilowatts at 7,000 RPM in the manual version, 147 kilowatts in the auto, 212 newton meters at 6,400 RPM to 6,800 RPM, and in the auto, 205 newton meters. Car takes 98 unleaded as well, so you've got to run it on 98.
Yeah.
8.4 litres per 100 Ks, I think, for a combined figure for the 6-speed manual here. 1,252 kilos, so it's fairly light, isn't it?
That's very light
So,
these days.
mate, I've run through all the specs. People might think that's a bit boring, but I think it's good to know about that. Give us your impressions. What do you think? You've had a drive.
Yep. Well, first thing, the colour. It stands out and it's lovely.
Yeah.
I really love that colour. Colour is great. It's a flat colour. It's not pearlescent, I believe. But it really sets the shape of the car with all the black highlights, the wings and the wheels, and then the red Brembo calipers. It really is a nice combination. So there's a question coming later which I already know the answer to, and I think you do as well. The colour's fantastic. But as you said, we did drive the BRRRRM last year, and obviously the DNA is very similar.
Yep.
And so as soon as I sat in the car, it reminded me of that. And I think I mentioned the seating position. Fantastic. It really,
you sit really low, don't you?
Really low.
Yeah.
Like you can't even put your hand between the bottom of the seat and floor.
Yep.
So it sits really low, which is great. So you really feel connected to the chassis. There's The seats are great as well.
Yep.
Very supportive. And the steering wheel is in a great position. Pedals, great. Here for heel and toe, great. Yeah.
Can I just say something? I know you love your steering wheels and everything.
Yeah.
This thing reminds me of one of those Sega rally games, I think, the steering wheel, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And they've got a Toyota GT4 Celica in that game. By my sort of geeky memory. And it does remind me of that sitting in the arcade game.
Kind of feels like a game machine steering wheel.
Yeah, it does. And you know what's good about it? It's not overly complicated. You've got your buttons here, but they're not all over the place. So it sort of is in the theme of having everything focused on driving.
Yeah.
Which I love. I really love. It's just a simple steering wheel, but it's still functional as well. Scrolling through the dash display, you can get to all the functions really easily.
Okay.
Which I worked out pretty quickly. Oops, I think I'm in third. Which then I guess good segue to the gearbox. Gearbox is really nice.
Yeah, it's
as
nice
well.
And notchy, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't even need a short shifter in this, I don't believe, if you're really a purist at heart. It really is nice, and it's just a nice click into the gear, really positive, and that then mates to the clutch and accelerator pedal and the pedal box. It's really well laid out. I've got, average size feet, size 12, maybe a bit bigger than average, and I can function very easily in there. So it's really well designed. Even though the car is quite small in its footprint, I can fit in really easily in the front. The back,
yeah, look,
maybe not so much.
When we say family friendly, I guess, you're talking about small kids. It's not something, I think, from your driving position to putting an adult in the back. That's going to be real tight.
Yeah.
Look, if you've got 2 kids, it's a 4-seater. 2 little kids, they're going to love it. They'll be fine in the back.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's not packaging wise as good as, say, a hatchback or something like that. But it's a sports car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sports car.
It is.
Yeah. And there are compromises.
Yeah. And for 40 grand in this spec, which is how I'd have it.
Yeah.
The fun factor is through the roof.
Yeah.
And this is going around the suburbs, just enjoying getting through the gears and the steering wheel, using the steering, and which is telepathic, by the way, in its steering, and it's just such an enjoyable car.
That's what I love about this car, is how direct the steering is. It's just point and squirt, and it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah,
so it's good.
It is.
Yeah. And I think too, I mean, like, talking about how it actually drives, it's not overly powered. Like 152 kilowatts in a light car, it's ample, but you know what? It's not enough. I think that's going to get you into too much trouble as well. You've also got, like, it's a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine, so there's, I guess, there's fuel consumption and there's reliability stuff with it.
Yeah.
It sounds like it might be okay compared to, so, like a high-strung turbo or something like that. But then again, I've got to say, this car with a bit more power, a bit more torque especially, would be really, really good.
Agreed, 100% agreed, Justin. The torque factor's not hugely there, so if you're driving around
you've got to
the
rev
city, you'd need to rev it.
You've got to
sort
rev
of, it doesn't make it super easy to get the most out of the engine. You really need to be on your game.
Now, I think safety-wise, mate, she comes with 7 airbags, ABS, reversing camera as well.
Yep, that's handy.
Yeah, which is really, really cool. As we said, like, packaging-wise, 4-seat only. The boot's a bit shallow as well, but the seat apparently folds down. So if you need to extend stuff into it, it's just a one-piece fold down, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the compromise you make again. Like, it's a sports car. If you haven't driven a sports car in years and you want something fun, that's actually, I reckon, quite affordable, and actually, it's not gonna. It's a Toyota, so it's not gonna cause you too many dramas, I guess.
Exactly.
One of these is pretty good, but
a
couple of little things, I suppose. I mean, like you said, GTS versus the sort of more basic GT version. The GTS gets the climate air, you get heated seats, you get comfort access as well. Like, you don't have to use your key to get in. There's some of the things that, you're right, I would pay extra for a GTS to have over a GT, I think.
Yeah.
Because I like the mod cons. But I think, this Apollo Blue package, that's pretty good value. Pretty good value for money.
I agree completely.
X Factor. What are your thoughts on that? Is this something you're going to park and look back at?
Yeah.
I think I know the answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, in this spec, absolutely, it stands out.
Yeah.
But it's not, in its current form, it's not boy racer loud. It still has a nice subtle sort of voice to it.
Yeah.
And these cars have such a great reputation for being what they are.
Yeah, I was going to say, mate, like this car has been around for quite some time now, hasn't it? Like the 86 has been on sale, but I think the interesting thing Toyota announced, I think last year, I think 20,000 of these have been sold in Australia. Like, do you remember the old Celicas and things like that? I mean,
we have one.
I think it's apparently surpassed in terms of time for selling how many cars. Celica, which
huge
is really
success.
great.
Huge.
In Australia. So that's,
Yeah,
I mean, you
that's
do see them
fantastic.
around. Like, I think even today we've gone past a few of them and that. So,
We have, yeah.
So it shows how popular these things are. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really good. But you're right about the I think the X Factor, mate. It is something that I'd look back at definitely.
Yeah.
Like it's a cool looking car. I can't deny that.
Definitely. And even when you're inside it as well, the way they've done the Alcantara on the top of the door, and then the dash here, it's nice.
Yeah.
They've added nice touches to it. The dash layout's fantastic. The central rev counter, and it's got the speedometer and digital as well. So it's just easy to know what you're doing, and then the G meter and all the other aspects there makes it they're good features to have. Makes it good.
I was going to say, mate, the only couple of negative things I would probably have to say about the car, I think we touched on it. I think if it had more torque, it'd be a bit more enjoyable for me, I think. But also too, like, it's got a 6.1 inch touchscreen, comes with nav as well and audio stuff, but there's no Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. I'd love to see that in the car. I think these things now come with 5-year unlimited K warranty as per all Toyotas, and I think there's some cap price servicing on the car as well. I can't imagine it to be too expensive, being naturally aspirated and all that stuff. So
very reliable car. They keep going.
Anyway, just want to put a big thank you out to our friends at Toyota Australia for the loan of the 86. It's a fun little car. I think if you are looking for something that's fun and family friendly, put it on your shopping list.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's well worth a look.
Yep, and I'm not giving it straight back.
Look, there's one there. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
Bye.